Hello everyone and welcome back to Cowboys Insiders, your ultimate destination for everything surrounding the legendary Dallas Cowboy. No matter where you are watching from around the world, we are truly glad to have you here today. This is more than just a channel, this is a community which build for passionate fans who live and breathe football, which is NFL. Those who analyze every plan, every decision, and every move which made in the National Football League. Here on Cowboys Insiders, we don't just talk about the headlines, we go deeper. We break down the strategy and we explore the possibilities, and we give you the kind of insight that keeps you one step ahead to everyone else. So if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notification so you never miss an update. And to everyone who has already subscribed, thank you for being part of the growing the family. Your support means everything and it's what keep this channel going strong. Now let's talk about why this moment is important for the Dallas Cowboys. Every season brings a new expectations, a new challenges, new opportunities, but this off-season and NFL draft feels different. There is a sense of urgency, a feeling that this team is right now, right on edge of something special. The talent is there, the foundation is strong, but the question remains, what is the missing piece that can take these teams all the way? That's exactly what we are here to figure out. You can expect in a depth coverage of everything happening with the Dallas Cowboys, from the breaking news and trade rumors and play analysis and full game breakdown. We will be diving into a key moment, spotlighting rising stars, and discussing the discussions that could shape the future of the franchise. And right now, all eyes are on the biggest event of the offseason, the NFL draft. This is where a team are built, where the future are decided, and where the next generation of stars begins their journey. For the Cowboys, this draft could be turning points. The light picks could elevate these teams into a true championship contender, and the long ones could leave fans asking what if all over the games. This is your place for a little conversation, a little opinions, and a little passions for a game. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and most important, stay ready, because the journey is just getting started and you don't want to miss a single moment. So the off-season is always defining a period for every teams in the National Football League, but for the Dallas Cowboy, these moments feels even more critical. As the 2026 NFL Draft started, the franchise found itself standing at crossroads between continuing as a competitive team and finally transforming into a true championship contender. Over the past few seasons, the Cowboys have shown a flashes of brilliance, but they have also struggled with inconsistency, especially in the biggest moments. So that is why this draft is not just another year event for the Dallas. It is an opportunity to reshape the identity of the team and build a stronger foundation for the futures. At the heart of the Cowboys' current situation is their quarterback Dak Prescott. Prescott remains one of the most important figures in the franchise, a leader with experience and the ability to guide the offense when everything is functioning properly. However, even the best quarterback in the league cannot succeed without a light support around them. In a recent season, Prescott has faced a pressure due to offensive line that has not been dominant as it once was. Injury urging players and inconsistencies have weakened what used to be one of the strongest units in football. This has had direct impact not only on Prescott's performance but also on entire of offensive system. The running game is another area where the Dallas Cowboys have experienced a noticeable decline during a prime years of Ezekiel Elliott, and the team had powerful and reliable rushing attacks that could control the tempo of the game. Today, what some level of dominance is missing. While they have been moments of promise, there is no clear long-term solution at the running back position. In the modern NFL, where offensive balance is a key, having a dynamic running back who can both run effectively and contribute in the passing game is essential. This makes the draft perfect opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to address these needs and inject a new energy into the offense. When it comes to a passing game, the Cowboys are fortunate to have a true star like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has established himself as one of the top wide receivers in the league, capable of making a big plays and carrying significant portions of the offensive load. However, relying too heavily on a single receiver can make an offense predictable. Defenses can adjust their strategies to limit Lamb's impact, forcing other players to step up. This is why adding another wide receiver through a draft could be a crucial move. A fast and explosive players who can stretch the field would not only complement a Lamb but also create more opportunities for the entire offense. On the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys have one of the most exciting players in the NFL in the Micah Parsons. Parsons has the ability to change the outcomes of the game with his speed, strength, and versatility, and he is kind of player every team dreams to build around. However, football is a team sport, and even player of the Parsons caliber cannot do everything alone. The Cowboys' defense, while strong in certain areas, still lacks a depth and consistency in others, and strengthening the defensive line and adding a talent to a secondary could significantly improve the overall performance of the unit. As the NFL draft draws closer, the strategy of the Dallas Cowboys become a topic of intense discussions. One passing approach is to focus heavily on the offensive line, selecting a player who can immediately step in and provide protection for a Dak Prescott. Another approach would be to prioritize skills positions, such as running back or wide receiver, in order to create a more explosive offense. There is also the option of selecting the best player available regardless of position, strategy that can sometimes lead to unexpected but valuable addition to a team. The Cowboys could also consider trading down in the draft, a move that would allow them to acquire additional picks and build a depth across a multiple position. This approach requires careful planning and clear understanding of the team's long-term goals. While it may not provide an immediate impact from a single star player, it can create more balanced, and complete roster over time. Ultimately, the success of this draft will depend on decisions made by the Cowboys front office and coaching staff. So every pick carries a certain level of the risk, but it also represent an opportunity. The difference between good teams and the great ones after comes down to how well franchise can identify and develop talent through the draft. For the Cowboys, this is a chance to address their weaknesses, reinforce their strength, and take significant steps forward. Looking ahead, the impact of the 2026 NFL Draft could shape the future of the Dallas Cowboys for years to come. A successful draft could elevate the team to a new level, turning them into a serious contender capable of making a deep playoff runs. On the other hand, missed opportunity could result in continued frustration and unfulfilled potential. This is what makes the draft such a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. As fans wait to see how everything unfolds, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have a pieces to complete, but they need the right addition to complete the puzzle, and the decision they make in this draft will not only influence the upcoming season but also defining the direction of the franchise moving forward. Challenge and striving to return to the top of the NFL. We will be here every step of the way, every update, every breakdown, and every reaction. You will find it right here, delivered with a passion and purpose. The Dallas Cowboys are once again at the center of attention as they navigate the most crucial moments in the modern era, and everything about their approach to NFL draft, it reflects a franchise that is no longer satisfied with simply being competitive. This is a team driven by urgency, shaped by a past disappointment, and fueled by a deep desire to return to the top of National Football League. For years, the Cowboys have carried the weight of expectations only because of their history, but because of the immense spotlight that follows them everywhere. So now more than ever, that spotlight is focused on how they build their roster through a draft and how those decisions will define their immediate future. At the center of this entire operation stands a Jerry Jones, a figure whose influence on a franchise cannot be overstated. Jerry Jones has built his reputation on bold move, aggressive decisions, and the unwavering belief that the Cowboys should always be contenders. Unlike many organizations that embrace a long-term rebuild, Dallas operates with a win-now mentality, and that philosophy is clearly reflected in how they approach the draft. Every pick is not just about potential, it is about an immediate impact. It is about finding the players who can step into a high-pressure environment and delivers results from a moment they arrive. The foundations of the current Cowboys roster is strong, and it begins with a quarterback, Dak Prescott, where a Dak Prescott has been the leader of the team for years, and while his performances have often been impressive and the narrative surrounding him to become increasingly tied to postseason success, The rectangular season consistency is no longer enough. The expectations now is clear. Take the team deeper into a playoff and compete for a championship. Supporting Prescott is one of the league's most dynamic wide receivers in CeeDee Lamb, whose ability to create separations, make explosive plays, and dominate a defense has made him a cornerstone of the offense. Together, they form a partnership that has the potential to be one of the most dangerous in the NFL. But even that is not sufficient, but the right supporting case cost. On the defensive side of the ball, Micah Parsons has emerged as a generational talent. And Micah Parsons is not just a linebacker, he is a complete defensive weapon capable of flashing the passer, dropping into the coverage and disrupting a plays in ways that few players in the league can replicate. His presence alone changes how opposing offenses prepare for the Cowboys. However, the team has recognized that relying too heavily on one player, no matter how talented, is not sustainable strategy. The draft therefore becomes an opportunity to build a defensive unit that complements a person's. One of the most pressing concerns for the Dallas heading into this draft is the offensive line. Once considered the gold standard of the NFL, the Cowboys' offensive line has experienced a gradual decline due to the injuries, aging players, and a lost turnover. Protecting a Dak Prescott has become an absolute priority, not just to maintain offensive efficiency but to ensure the long-term health and effectiveness of the quarterback position. The front office is acutely aware that without the strong and reliable offensive line, even the most talented offense can struggle. As a result, the Cowboys are expected to invest heavily in a lineman who combines a physical strength, technical skills, and the mental awareness needed to adapt a speed of professional game. Beyond the trenches, the Cowboys are also focused on adding a depth and versatility to the defensive unity. The modern NFL demands defenses that can adapt to a wide range of offensive schemes, from a high-powered passing attacks to a balanced run-heavy system. So Dallas is targeting a player who brings a speed, flexibility, and intelligence to the field, defenders who can cover in multiple positions, react quickly to the changing situations, and contribute in various roles. This approach reflects a broader shift in the team philosophy, one that emphasizes adaptability and strategic depth over a rigid position load. Offensively, the need for additional weapons is another key focus. While CeeDee Lamb has established himself as a true number one receiver, the Cowboys understand that elite offenses require a multiple threat. Defenses have become increasingly sophisticated and relying on a single dominant receiver who can make an offense predictable. By adding another wide receiver with a speed, a tight end who can both block and crouch, the running back who excel in at passing game, Dallas can create a more dynamic and unpredictable attack. This not only helps Prescott but also forces opposing defenses to spread their attention, opening up opportunities across the field. And what makes this year's draft particularly interesting is the way of the Cowboys are blending traditional scouting with a modern analytics. The organization has embraced a data-driven decisions making, analyzing players' performance metrics, injury histories, and scheme fit in a greater detail than ever before. This evolution demonstrates willingness to adapt to the changing landscape of the National Football League, where a success often depends on finding the right balance between intuition and information. It is a sign that the Cowboys are not just relying on their legacy but are actively working to stay ahead of the curve. The pressure surrounding the franchise cannot be ignored. The Cowboys are one of the most recognizable teams in a sport, and with that recognition comes constantly scrutiny. Every decision is analyzed, every game is dissected, and every failure is magnified. For Jerry Jones, the pursuit of another championship is deeply personal. For a Dak Prescott, and the stakes are equally highly, as his legacy as a quarterback will ultimately be defined by a postseason success. For the coaching staff, the expectations is simple but demanding. Deliver results. In this context, the NFL draft become more than just a process of selecting a player. It became a defining moment, a chance to reshape the roster and address a critical weaknesses and build a team capable of competing at the highest level. The Cowboys are not looking for developmental prospects who may take years to reach their potential. They are just looking for players who can contribute immediately, who can handle the intensity of the NFL, and who can help the team win now. As the draft unfolds, each selection carries a significant weight. A successful pick can strengthen a key area of the roster, while missed opportunities can leave gaps that opponents will exploit. The margin for error is small, and the importance of each decision is magnified by the team's current position as contender. The Cowboys are close and closer enough to believe that the right addition could make all the difference. Ultimately, the story of the Dallas Cowboys at this moment is one of determination and transformation. They are a team with a proud history, talented roster, and clear objective. The challenge lies on turning a potential into performance, in translating a draft day decisions into on-the-field success, and in providing that they can rise above the expectations that have defined them for so long time. So if those NFL draft in the Dallas Cowboys succeed, this draft could be remembered as the moment when everything came together, the moment when the Cowboys finally bridged the gaps between promise and achievement. If they fall short, it will be another chapter in a recent franchise history. So the big question everyone is asking right now is simple. This question is that can the Cowboys finally turn all this talent or hype and off-season momentum into a really Super Bowl run? That's exactly what we are going to break down today. Go on, so sit back, relax, and let's dive straight into the latest Dallas Cowboy news. right here on Cowboys Insiders. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the most talked about teams in the entire of the NFL, and there is a massive amount of excitement, pressure, and uncertainty surrounding the franchise as they prepare for the 2026 NFL season. After years of disappointing playoff exit, inconsistent performances, and frustration from the fans who believe the team has underlying dispute having a talented roster, the Cowboys are entering a new era that many people believe could completely reshape the future of the organization. Throughout this offseason, the Cowboys front office has been extremely active, making an important change in coaching, the NFL draft, a free agencies, and a roster development in the Cowboys Insiders. Team owner Jerry Jones has once again made it clear that his expectations remain the same, bringing another Super Bowl championship back to the Dallas. The pressure inside the organization have never been higher because the Cowboys fans are tired of hearing promises every year without seeing a deep playoff success. One of the biggest stories surrounding the Dallas lineup is the complete rebuild and transformation of the defense during the previous season. The Cowboys struggled badly at the times on defense, especially against the land and the late game situation where they failed to stop opposing offenses during a critical drives. Those defensive struggles become one of the most biggest reasons for the Cowboys' failure to compete consistently against a narrowed team. So because of those problems, the Dallas made a several major coaching adjustments and brought in new defensive minds to reshape the identity of the team. So the coaches inside the organization reportedly want the Cowboys defense to become a faster, more aggressive, and more physically and far more unpredictable. The franchise believes that if the defense improves significantly, the entire team can become a faster and more aggressive and more physical, suffer and predictable. The center of that defensive rebuild continues to be Micah Parsons, who remains the emotional leader and superstar of the Cowboys defense. Parsons is still considered one of the most dangerous defensive players in the football because of his explosiveness, speed, versatility, and the ability to completely change the games within a few plays. There are ongoing discussions about a massive new contract extension that could make him one of the highest paid defensive players in the entire NFL history. Cowboys fans view Parsons as the face of the franchise and believe the future of the defense will revolve around him for many years. So for another huge sources of excitement for the Dallas fans, it comes during 2026 NFL Draft. Many analysts around the league praised the Cowboys for having one of the smartest and balanced drafts in the NFL, so their first major selection was a Caleb Down, a highly talented safety whom many experts believed was one of the best defensive players available in the entire of NFL draft this year of 2026 class. Downs has already impressed the coaches with his football intelligence, athleticism, awareness, tackling ability, and leadership qualities despite being a rookie. Inside the organization led by the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, there is a growing belief that he could immediately become one of the most impactful young players on the defense. So the Cowboys also selected Malachi Lawrence, an explosive edge rusher with innate speed and pass rushing ability. The Dallas believes Lawrence can become a major weapon alongside Amika Parsons, creating one of the fastest and most dangerous pass rushing combinations in the NFL. So the coaches are reportedly extremely excited about his athleticism and his potential to create a pressure against opposing quarterbacks. Another rookie generating attention is Devin Moore, a talented cornerback who brings a strong athletic ability and versatility to the secondary. The Dallas struggled with injuries and inconsistency in the defensive backfield over the last few seasons, so the organization hopes Amor can help to stabilize that area. Everton was also added to strengthen the defensive line and improve the Cowboys' physical presence in the trenches. On the offensive side of the ball, all eyes remain focused on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott continues to be one of the most debated quarterbacks in the football, so some fans strongly believe he is capable of leading the Cowboys deep into the playoff if he has the right support around him. While the others continue to question whether he can truly deliver in the biggest moment. Regardless of the criticism, the Cowboys organization still has confidence in the Dak Prescott and is working hard to surround him with a more offensive weapon than ever before. CeeDee Lamb remained the biggest star on offense and continued to establish himself as one of the top wide receivers in the entire of NFL team. And in the last season, CeeDee Lamb carried a huge portion of the offense and consistently made a game-changing plays. His chemistry with Dak Prescott continued to improve, and many analysts believe he could have another monster season in 2026. The Cowboys have also continued strengthening their receiving corps by adding more depth and versatility around Lamb. George Pickens is the one of the player creating a major excitement because of his incredible athletics, talent, and ability to make spectacular catches. Many people around the league believe Pickens could become one of the breakout stars of the upcoming season if he performs consistently in the Dallas Cowboys. The running game is another important focus on the Dallas Cowboys entering a new season. Dallas believes Javonte Williams can help to bring a physicality and the balance back to the offense. So our coaches reportedly want more balanced offensive system that does not force Dak Prescott to carry the entire offense alone every week. So a Javonte Williams' ability to break tackles and gain 12 yards could become extremely important in critical situations. Another major priority this offseason has been rebuilding the offensive line. Historically, the Cowboys have been known for having some of the best offensive lines in the football, but injuries, aging players, and inconsistency weakened that unity over the last few years. The organization is now working aggressively to rebuild a strong offensive front capable of protecting a Dak Prescott and improving the running game. Many insiders believe that if the offensive line performs well, the entire offense could become one of the most dangerous units in the NFL. So Dallas has also remained an active free agencies continuing to explore veteran additions who could bring a leadership and experience into a locker room. Reports suggest the Cowboys are still monitoring a several experienced players who may become available before the season begins. The organization appears determined to add a depth and veteran presence in a key position to strengthen the roster for a potential playoff run. A special team remains another area of the strength for the Cowboys, especially because of Brandon Aubrey, who has become one of the most reliable kickers in the NFL. So Brandon Aubrey played a huge